Ubisoft. Once the titan of open world innovation, now the poster child for complete corporate burnout, broken promises, and a franchise milked harder than a Jersey cow in tax season. Today, I want to dive deep, lore style, into the downfall of Ubisoft. How did a studio that gave us Assassin's Creed 2, Far Cry 3, and Rayman Legends become whatever this era is now? So, buckle up, and it's time to break down one of gaming's biggest tragedies. So, before we get into this downfall, we have to remember Ubisoft was once fire. Open world games, they didn't just participate, they defined the formula. Towers revealing map icons, synchronized leaps, charismatic villains, stealth systems that influenced a generation. Ezio Auditore, and a cultural icon. Voss, the Joker of FPS villains. Black Flag, the king of pirate simulators. Splinter Cell, stealth royalty. But the higher you climb, the harder the descent. So, as franchises gained success, Ubisoft made a tragic industry mistake. Annualization. Every year brought another Assassin's Creed, another Far Cry, another Just Dance, and and with that pace came recycled content, shallow stories, little innovation, burned out developers, and fans noticing the formula wasn't evolving, just repeating. The Ubisoft formula became predictable, a little too predictable, actually. Then came the Meltdown era. Assassin's Creed Unity was supposed to be a next gen masterpiece. Instead, it became 2014's biggest meme. But it wasn't just Unity. Ubisoft started gaining the reputation of a studio that shipped buggy games, day one mega patches, broken NPC AI, texture pop in, and T posing guards with the IQ of a toaster. When your bugs are more famous than your story, that's really a huge problem. Then Ubisoft hits what I like to call the live service fever phase. Instead of making the polished single player games fans loved, they decided everything needed to be a live service platform. Battle royales, looter shooters, trend chasing hero shooters, forever delayed pirate MMOs, um, extraction shooters no one even asked for. And Ubisoft was no longer leading trends, it was chasing them with a butterfly net, Animal Crossing style. And with that, trust evaporated. Games felt copy pasted, delays became comedy, and Ubisoft's identity, that spark of creativity, completely vanished like the freaking Avatar. Skull and Bones alone had been delayed more times than most franchises exist. Fans stopped asking, what's Ubisoft making next, and started asking, do they even know what they're making next? Now, here lies the downfall. Ubisoft lost who it was. They used to innovate, now they imitate. They used to take risks, now they take surveys. Assassin's Creed, once a titan of stealth, storytelling, it doesn't even know what its own genre is anymore. Who is Ubisoft? Nobody, including Ubisoft, seems to know. My cat is so mad right now. He is meowing out in the hallway like crazy, wanting some food because I literally just came in the door. And he's probably hearing me whining about Ubisoft too, and he's just tired of all their crap as well. So here's the plot twist: Ubisoft can come back. Now, this is not a permanent fall, but the comeback requires some serious rebuilding and some restructuring. So let's break it down exactly and what needs to be done. So, number one, stop chasing trends, start making them again. Ubisoft keeps chasing whatever is hot: battle royales, hero shooters, extraction looters, but Ubisoft was built on originality. They created genres before, they can do it again. Return to innovation, not imitate. I'm getting all tongue tied here. My God, they're going to start monetizing me just to get my grammar in check here. Return to innovation, not imitation. And that brings us to number two: slow down. No more annualized bloat. So, games need years, not months of crunch. Ubisoft must ditch annual releases and give teams time to polish systems, write better stories, innovate mechanics, actually finish the damn games. Once Masterpiece, I can't even focus. He's just destroying my door. So, what I'm trying to say here is one Masterpiece beats five midterm annual sequels every time. So, now that's going to bring us to number three, which is breaking the formula. Give the studios some freedom. Developers been saying for years that every Ubisoft game is forced into the same open world checklist formula. Towers, icons, bases, crafting, repeat over and over again. If they want to come back, they need to let studios experiment again. Let them be weird. Let them be creative. Let them break away from the Ubisoft template. Now, number four on this big roadmap plan. I know they get wet when they hear that word. Fund smaller passion projects. So, some of Ubisoft's best modern titles weren't blockbusters. Child of Light, Rayman Legends, Valiant Hearts, Grow Home. These games provided. I was sort of, they provided so much to people, and I've seen tons of Let's Plays of them and fans that are really dedicated to these games. They love them, they're very passionate about them. So they also proved that the studio had a soul. Small projects rebuild trust and remain and they remain like sound too, like across all time. And it reminds the fans that Ubisoft still has creativity left in them. Now let's move on to number five. Finish games before shipping them. This may sound obvious, but it hasn't really been lately. Ubisoft needs a culture of polish first, release later. So that means no more broken launches, no more patch it later mentality, and honestly, just listen to your fans. I mean, just really listen. Fans aren't asking for impossible things, they just want less bloat, better stories, fewer microtransactions. My god, you can't even boot up any of their games without everything just smacking you right dead in the face at all times, asking you to buy time savers and like different random skins and just a bunch of junk like maps that reveal things and more stealth and less grind. Um a Splinter Cell revival that isn't live service. Can we please have like one of those? So I we just really need games with heart again. And listening to your audience isn't radical, it's survival to your company. And speaking of revived beloved franchises, bring back Splinter Cell for God's sake. It's been so long. Prince of Persia, and I know we just got one, but it didn't seem like it was selling that well. You guys didn't hype it up. You didn't market it. You just didn't even want to think about it because you couldn't squeeze every penny out of your customers. Rayman, classic Ghost Recon. Like why? Why would it be so hard to actually just make like a whole, you know, remastered version for newer like consoles and add a multiplayer feature into them or maybe even co-op and also a darker Watch Dogs, which when I say darker, I don't mean like Aiden Pierce in Watch Dogs 1. That was just absolutely terrible, in my opinion at least, because it seemed more cringy and more edgy than it wanted to be. Just give it a little more dystopian feeling, like show how it parallels our real government without just a bunch of cyberpunks just running around just making a nuisance of everything, like the second game did. And don't get me even started on Legion. That was just trash. It was terrible. Nobody liked Legion. I played it for probably an hour and a half and I couldn't bear it anymore. It was so clunky and terrible. So, what I'm trying to get to is if you're going to bring any of this back, bring it back right. Do not make it as a games as a service experiment. Don't make it a trend chaser. I mean, hell, look at Assassin's Creed Shadows. You literally just chased after Ghost of Tsushima because everybody was all hyped into the whole Japanese style and everything, and like the Ronins and the ninjas and everything like that. We don't need to chase that stuff. Just have your own ideas. And now that brings us to number eight here. So that's fixing the internal culture. Bring back talent. Behind the scenes, Ubisoft has lost tons of veteran developers to burnout and mismanagement. Rebuilding the internal culture is mandatory. When developers thrive, the game will thrive. So yeah, that's my eight-step plan here that I could honestly think of. So, can Ubisoft make a comeback? Yes, but only if they return to what made them legendary to begin with: innovation, craftsmanship, creativity, vision. The downfall isn't destiny by all means, but the comeback, that's going to have to be earned. Ubisoft's downfall is a cautionary tale, not just for gaming, but for the creative industry. When innovation dies, everything else will collapse with it. But the story isn't over. Let's hope Ubisoft gets its hidden blade back. So, if you enjoyed this breakdown and you want more lore styled deep dives into gaming giants rising and falling, smash the like button like it's an empty outpost alarm. Subscribe for more pop culture commentary. Maybe you get to hear me rant a few more times about things as well. And I also like to cover a lot more comic book related things on this channel too. But Ubisoft is one of my favorite companies. I mean, used to be one of my favorite corporations. It used to be. I loved their games. I mean, everything from Assassin's Creed 2 all the way to Revelations, and hell, I even like Assassin's Creed 1. And it's just a shame that I just have to watch them just throw all this in the garbage. It's really just sad because they've made some bangers. They have some huge titans in their roster of games and their icons and just their developments. They used to take some big steps, but now they're just laying in their deathbed and they're not even really caring. They're just completely shitting themselves and they just seem to be okay with it, I guess. So, with that being the end here, what was the last Ubisoft game that you truly loved? I guarantee a lot of people are going to say Assassin's Creed 2. The one that I truly loved a lot was probably Assassin's Creed Revelations, and after that would be Black Flag when I first played it. I have burnt myself out of that to no end, and I don't ever want to see a a ship game like that again. I've played so much Rogue and Black Flag. It's maddening at this point. So, anyway, I will see you on the next one.